What a do, skibbity boo, it's your boy Sean B Gaming, and today we are going to be going over the 8.4 patch notes for King of Uruk coming out today on April 20th. Tomorrow I will be uploading a Gilgamesh video in solo, and then probably Gilgamesh Jungle the following day. I upload SMITE videos every single day, and if that is something you're interested in, make sure you check out the channel and subscribe for more content. In today's video, we're going to be going over the item changes, the god changes, the conquest map changes, then the skins, and then finally Gilgamesh's kit. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. First up, we have Bumba's Hammer. This item is no longer going to proc on immune jungle camps, and what this means is that if you're standing outside of the circle and you're trying to proc this item and you're not dealing damage, it is no longer going to proc, which means it's no longer going to activate your passive. Then we have Death's Toll and Death's Embrace, which is pretty much the same. These items are no longer going to proc on immune jungle camps. Ornate Arrow. This item now provides 10% attack speed. This also provides 5% critical strike chance. For its passive, they're going to decrease the maximum stat count from 25 to 20. They're going to increase the attack speed from 1% per stack to 1.25% per stack, 25% at max stacks. And they're going to increase the critical strike chance from 0.8% per stack to 1% per stack, 20% at max stacks. Leader's Cowl. This item now provides 15% attack speed. Its passive is an aura. It's going to provide 5% increased power to all nearby allied gods. This aura gains bonus stacks for each allied god within 55 units, causing it to provide an additional 3% increased power. For each enemy god within 55 units, a stack is removed. Sentinel's Embrace. This is the second time this item is getting nerfed, and I think it's still going to be a very strong item. They're going to increase the passive aura range from 30 units to 55 units. They're going to increase the physical protections and magical protections from 20 to 30. They decrease the protection split among nearby allies from 100 to 80. Decrease the protection gains while alone from 50 to 40. Compassion. Increase the passive aura range from 40 to 70 units. Increase the magical protections from 40 to 60. And increase the HP 5 from 30 to 45. 45 HP 5 is a lot, I'm just throwing that out there. Sundering Axe, I think this is a really good fix for this item. They decrease the bonus damage from 10% of an enemy's current health to 5% of an enemy's current health plus 2% of your total protections from items. So if you're building super tanky, you're going to get a lot of value out of this and it's going to be a buff. However, if you are a mage in mid lane trying to build Sundering Axe, you're not going to get as much value as you did before. So I think this is a really good change. Bluestone Pendant, increase the physical power from 10 to 15. Bluestone Brooch, increase the base damage of the passive from 25 to 75. Alternate Timeline, decrease the cooldown from 10 minutes to 6 minutes. I think this is a good change. I think this item's going to be picked up a lot more, and I think 6 minutes is probably right around the sweet spot. It's going to happen maybe every 3 or 4 team fights, you're going to get revived, so I think this is a really good change. Staff of Myrddin, fixed an issue where this item was not triggering at the same time after ultimate ability fires as other Athorian items. Up next, we're going to be going over the god changes. First up, for the god changes, we have Achilles. Shield of Achilles, decrease the cooldown from 15 seconds to 14 seconds. Fatal Strike, decrease the bonus damage taken from 10% to 5%. Bacchus is receiving some love. For his Chug, decrease the mana cost from 40 to 20 at all ranks. This is really going to help his early game. Decrease the cooldown from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. Fixed protection description to clarify that this ability provides 0 protections at rank 0. Belch of the Gods, increase the base damage. It was on a scale of 25 to 85, now it's going to be on a scale of 30 to 90 per tick, so plus 5 at all ranks. Jormungandr, Consuming Bellow, increase duration of empowered attack speed buff from 1 second to 1.5 seconds. Submerge, reduce the cooldown. It was at 16 seconds at all ranks, now it's going to be 16 seconds at level 1, 12 seconds at level 5. Merlin, Dragonfire, increase protection reductions per stack. It was on a scale of 0.5 to 2.5, now it's going to be 4% at all ranks. Decrease the max stacks from 6 to 4. Results of the change, increase god-only protection reduction. It was on a scale of 3% at level 1 to 15% at level 5 at max stacks, and now it's going to be 16% at max stacks at all levels. Neath, Spirit Arrow, decrease the cooldown from 15 seconds, now it's going to be on a scale of 15 seconds at level 1, 13 seconds at level 5. Oleron, for General, increase his base power from 38 to 40. Touch of Fate, which is his passive, increase the critical strike damage from 50% to 55%. Serket, Catalyst, stacks will only be consumed and extra damage dealt if Serket successfully damages an enemy god, as opposed to just hits. So think of an Athena, whenever she dashes in, she gains block stacks. You can't just hit a block stack to activate Serket's passive anymore, you have to actually deal damage. Last Breath, increase the power scaling from 55% to 70%. Sylvanas, in general, increase the basic attack damage from 35 to 38. Verdant Growth, increase the magical power scaling from 35% to 50%, so that's plus 15%, that's a pretty large buff. Tiamat is going to be receiving some nerfs. Death Begets Life, decrease the damage mitigation. It was originally 60%, now it's going to be 30% plus 5% of Tiamat's magical power, capping out at a total of 60 mitigation at 600 magical power. Summon Serpents, decrease the number of hits it takes for minions to damage the serpent from 3 to 2. Decrease the power scaling from 8% to 5% of Tiamat's magical power. Summon Storm, adjust the description text to clarify that the initial damage on the first hit of each target, not the deploy of the ability. Increase initial hit damage scaling from 30% of your magical power to 40%. Increase the tick damage scaling from 10% of your magical power to 12% of your magical power. Fix an issue with Arthurian items not triggering as intended times with Tiamat's ultimates. Zhong Kui, Expose Evil, increase magical power scaling per tick from 15% to 20%, so it's going to be a total of 75% to 100%, so a nice buff for Zhong Kui. Up next, we're going to be going over the Conquest map changes. First up, for the Conquest changes, there's going to be a new dark skybox that's going to represent the battle in the Stormy style between Gilgamesh and Tiamat. There's going to be invisible foliage tech, so whenever you use a god with an aerial ultimate, like Thanatos or Thor, the trees are going to become invisible and you're not going to lose vision. I think this is a great quality of life change for the map. Tier 2 towers are getting some changes. They're going to get increased base HP. It was 2,500, now it's going to be 2,800. They're going to increase the base damage per shot from 260 to 290. The Greater Scorpion Jungle, decrease the base maximum health from 780 to 660, decrease the base protections from 20 to 40, decrease the scaling max health from 175 to 145, decrease the scaling physical protections from 2 to 1.5, and decrease the magical protections from 2 to 1. For the Manticore, the red buff holder, whenever it is Berserk, it's going to decrease the physical power scaling from 18 damage per hit to 15 per hit. Then they are also adding a new mechanic to the Conquest map, the Vine Walls. They're going to spawn in specific symmetrical places around the jungle. They're going to function like player-made walls, you cannot walk through them. They can be destroyed by basic attacks, not by abilities. Walls respawn when adjacent jungle camps respawn, even if killed only seconds before. So they're going to spawn at Oracles, the mid-harpies at Fire Giant, and the mid-harpies at Gold Fury. All Vine Walls are going to despawn at 15 minutes into the game. And then we have the base gates. We added new rules to linking Phoenix deaths to doors. So killing the left Phoenix is going to remove the debuff area on the left door. Killing the right Phoenix is going to remove the debuff on the right door. And killing the middle Phoenix is going to remove the debuff on both doors. I think this is a great change. Having that debuff really decentivized people from opening gates for your team to come in. Now that you can open the doors without being penalized, I think this is going to really open up different ways to siege Phoenixes. Up next, we're going to be going over the God skins. First up, we have the Crimson King Gilgamesh, which is going to be the standard recolor that you can buy with favor. Then you have the Ascended Gilgamesh, which is going to be the Season Pass 2021 recolor. Then you have the Gilgamesh Masteries. I think Gilgamesh just looks cool as a character in general. His armor is a very nice touch and probably my favorite part about him. I'm very excited for him to enter the game today. Then we have the chilling Hersir Ares, which is going to be part of the Talons of Tyranny. The Headless Horror Chiron, which is also going to be part of the Talons of Tyranny. This skin looks very clean. Then we have the Lady of the Sea Discordia. I think this could look really cool in-game. I haven't seen it in-game yet. But this skin is also going to be Talons of Tyranny. Then we have the Tormented Soul Medusa, which is a pretty cool skin. And then probably my favorite skin of the patch, we have the Fun Guy Merlin, which is going to be exclusive to the Groovy chest. And then the Peace Out Artemis, which is going to be exclusive to the Groovy chest. I think the Groovy chest is just a cool idea. They're going to hang out with the hippie Bacchus, and it's just a cool theme all around. Finally, we are going to be going over Gilgamesh and his abilities. And the moment that you've all been waiting for, Gilgamesh's kit. I did do a kit reveal video that I will link in the top right. Gilgamesh has received 2 nerfs, one to his 1 and one to his 2. I'll go ahead and read the original ability and then go over the nerfs whenever they come up. Gilgamesh's passive, Epic of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh embarks. At level 5 and 10, Gilgamesh gains a quest. The first quest is to visit a specific location on the map. The second quest is to defeat half of an enemy team rounded up in a single fight. Each time Gilgamesh completes a quest, he's awarded a tier 1 item, or 500 gold if he has a full inventory. Gilgamesh's 1, Sun-Forged Scimitar. Gilgamesh ignites his sword with the ferocity of the sun for 4 seconds. Enemies around the ignition take damage and are slowed for 2.5 seconds. Gilgamesh's basic attack deals bonus damage equal to 3.5% of his maximum health to enemies hit. When Gilgamesh successfully hits an enemy with his basic attack, the duration of this effect is extended for up to 0.8 seconds, up to a maximum of 12 seconds. It's going to deal 65 damage at level 1, 205 damage at level 5. It's going to slow by 15% at level 1, 25% at level 5. It has a cooldown of 14 seconds at level 1, 10 seconds at level 5. The nerfs are they're decreasing the maximum lifetime increase from 12 seconds to 7 seconds, and they increase the mana cost. It was 60 at all ranks, now it's going to be 60 at level 1, 80 at level 5. Gilgamesh's 2, Dropkick. Gilgamesh dropkicks an area in front of him. Enemies in the area are damaged, while the closest enemy is launched through these enemies. The launched enemy takes bonus damage when hitting a minion, or takes burst damage and is stunned if hitting an enemy god or a wall. If the launched enemy hits the Winds of Shamash, which is his ultimate, they are thrown towards the center of the ring. Enemies hit by the launched enemy take bonus damage. Gods hit by the launched enemy take burst damage and are stunned. The kick damage is 70 at level 1, 190 at level 5. The bonus damage is 25 at level 1, 85 at level 5. The burst damage is 70 at level 1, 250 at level 5. The stun duration is 1.1 seconds at level 1, 1.5 seconds at level 5. It's going to cost 60 mana at level 1, 80 mana at level 5, and the cooldown is 14 seconds. For the nerfs, they decreased the damage from it was on a scale of 70 to 190, now it's going to be on a scale of 60 to 180, so minus 10 at all ranks. And for the burst damage, they decreased it by minus 20 at level 1, so it's going to be on a scale of 50 at level 1 to 250 at level 5, compared to its original of 70 to 205. Gilgamesh's 3, Hero's Advance. Gilgamesh leaps into the air, crashing down at a target location. Enemies around the impact take damage. Gilgamesh infuses the ground with energy, causing a beacon to appear for 5 seconds. Allies who run towards the beacon will gain movement speed, halving once they enter the beacon. Allies who enter the beacon will gain bonus lifesteal, boosted by 15% of Gilgamesh's highest protection. The damage is going to be 80 at level 1, 240 at level 5. The movement speed is going to be 25% at level 1, 35% at level 5. The lifesteal is 10%. It's going to cost 70 mana, and the cooldown is 15 seconds. And finally, Gilgamesh's ultimate, Winds of Shamash. Gilgamesh calls upon Shamash to create a ring of wind at a target location for 6 seconds. Enemies inside this ring, when it starts, takes damage and are slowed for 2 seconds. Enemies inside the ring take wind damage every 0.5 seconds. Enemies who try to escape the ring are heavily slowed. If Gilgamesh damages an enemy trying to flee, they are thrown towards the center of the ring. The wind turns into a thread over 6 seconds, damaging, rooting, and crippling enemies who are still inside the ring. The initial damage is going to be 90 at level 1, 330 at level 5. The initial slow is going to be 20% at level 1, 30% at level 5. The wind damage is 12 at level 1, 28 at level 5. The wind wall slow is 50% at level 1, 70% at level 5. The binding damage is 150 at level 1, 450 at level 5. It costs 80 mana at level 1, 100 mana at level 5, and the cooldown is 90 seconds. Well, that is going to be the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you check out the channel and subscribe for more Smite content. I will be releasing a Gilgamesh video tomorrow in solo, probably in jungle, support, mid, and maybe even carry over the next couple of days. So make sure you check out the channel and look for that Gilgamesh video. Thank you everyone for stopping by. I hope you have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.